Hi guys, it's Sheila Shimmers. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing 11 tips to keep your skin really hydrated when you have like dry skin. I know I struggle a lot putting on makeup because when you tend to have dry skin, there's really not much that you can do about it. Nothing that you put on top of it is going to make it look better. You really have to like take care of your skin and use the right products. So in all the time that I've been doing YouTube and just using products and putting on makeup like constantly, I have kind of gained a little bit of knowledge when it comes to my skin. I obviously still struggle because you do have your colder months in the winter where you can't really help it. It is what it is. But I definitely like to do everything in my power to make my skin look a little bit better. So I really hope you guys enjoy these tips and tricks, and I really hope that you guys, implement them, and let me know below if any of these helped you, because I would really it does make me really happy when I hear someone say that they are doing something that I mentioned. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So the first tip that I have for you guys, I really have no moisturizer or anything on right now just because I really want to show you guys how I do my makeup without anything. I have my face clean and that's about it. So the reason why I don't have any skin products on my face right now is because my first step when I cleanse my face in the morning is to use this Esquiline oil from Good Molecules. So I really recommend using an oil. My skin doesn't really love oils, but I found that this one doesn't irritate my skin whatsoever. It is honestly amazing, and it's really improving my skin. It's a lot better than it was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, this is really great. This one you can find at Beautylish and it's only $6. So I would recommend using this one. There's also the Smashbox oil that I think Jaclyn Hill has mentioned a lot. That one is about, I think, $35. So it's super expensive, and it keeps going out of stock just because I guess Sephora can't keep it in stock because everyone's going out and buying it. But there's also the NYX oil as well. I haven't tried that one, but it does have great reviews. But I am telling you guys, this one is just as great. This one I would use just on my skincare routine, not so much before I apply my makeup. So it does the same job. If you have the other ones, you can just use it after you moisturize and everything before you apply your makeup. So today I'm actually going to be putting it just before putting my makeup on. And like I said, this one is the Esquiline oil from Good Molecules. It is really tiny. I think there's only 0.44 ounces in this, but it does last a long time. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this on my hand and kind of rub it around, and then go right in and put it all over my skin. I tend to really concentrate this where I have the driest areas, around my nose and my forehead, just basically everywhere. And if you feel you need a little bit more, I would go ahead and do that. But I kind of tend to put a little bit more at night, just because if I put it on during the day, I feel it does move my makeup around after a while. So I wouldn't recommend that. But right there, my face feels really good. And what I love about this oil is that it's not greasy at all. It definitely doesn't feel like anything. And it doesn't smell super oily, because I know I hate a greasy feeling on my hands or my face. So now that I have that, I'm going to move on to the next step. So what I really like to do is spray my face with either a facial mist or something like that. I would recommend the Mario Badescu, which is the one that I'm going to be using. But there's also the Wet n Wild, I think, rose spray. They have the cucumber and the rose. Those are really good. And there's also the Pixie facial mist. So those are really great. I'm going to just be using the Mario Badescu. And this one is the facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. You guys can see that I'm it's almost empty. I use this every single day before I put my makeup on. Every single day. I also have the mini version for travel, but I love this stuff. It's super inexpensive. You can find it at Ulta. It's about $6 or $7. So super good. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this all over my face. So I really do feel this prepares your face for your next step, which is priming. And I'm telling you guys, this step is going to change your life. If you have dry skin, what you should do is always, even if you don't have dry skin, this is just a game changer for makeup and as a whole, is double prime. I recommend this tip so much. Guys, if you have any struggle with making your foundation look great, if you want to have that face tune effect, if you want to make everything look really flawless, either apply a lot of primer or double prime, which is my favorite thing to do. So I'm going to go with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer first. This is how it looks like. I really love this one. I did a dupe video for this one comparing it to the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer, which is my favorite ever, and it kind of held up. and was actually really, really nice. So I really enjoyed it. This one I think is like $8, so it's really great stuff. So I like applying a lot of this. I honestly like go in with a lot. So you can see right there like how my skin is just looking very hydrated now. It's just looking really, really good. So what I recommend is using your first primer as a pore filling. Like try to find something that is pore filling, either silicone free, whatever it is that you like using. And then go ahead with something that is either moisturizing, like a moisturizing primer, or something glowy. So I'm going to be using this one. It's a Wonder Glow Instant Soft Focus Beauty Flash from Charlotte Tilbury. So I really, really love this one. I think this one is really great. I don't use it as often just because I feel like it doesn't make my makeup last like as long as I want it to. But it's just really, really amazing. And you guys are going to see like how pretty this looks. So if you don't use something like this with like a little bit of glow to it, I would really recommend mixing your foundation with like a liquid highlighter. That would actually make a lot of difference and make your skin like look a lot dewy, a lot dewier than it would without it. But like you guys can see how like glowy my skin is, so I don't want to overdo it. So I'm going to skip that step today. But if you're not going to be doing this, definitely go ahead with a liquid highlighter. So the next thing that I have to do now is just put on my foundation. So for foundation, I really recommend you guys to go with something either with a dewy finish or something with a natural finish that doesn't look matte at all. I have two great options right here. These are both affordable. Both of them are drugstore, or not drugstore, but just affordable. This one you can find at Ulta, and this one is on Haley's Beauty, Target, I think. And I think a couple other retailers. So the first one that I have is a NYX Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. I have this one in the shade Buff. And then the other one I have is the Reset Liquid Matte Foundation in the shade 4.30 Warm. So I'm going to be mixing these two today. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to give you like the perfect finish for what you're looking for. Hopefully it is the right color because both of them are like not the exact match. For me, but we're gonna try it. So the next tip goes alongside with the foundation. So it is to always wet your little sponge or beauty blender. And this is actually like a life changing thing. Even if you like doing your foundation with a brush, or even if you don't like wetting your sponge, or even if you like applying your foundation with your fingers and your hands, I'm telling you guys, wetting your sponge would make everything look a lot more fresh. And it would like make the foundation not really sit on those areas where you have the most dryness. And it is just really, really good. If you do all these steps together, I promise you guys, you're going to see an improvement in how your skin looks. I mean, if you're here watching this video, it's because you probably have some kind of trouble when you do your makeup and you want to enhance it. So I would really, really recommend doing this. And now I got to go and wet my little sponge. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm ready. It is really, really big and squishy. And guys, I'm telling you, you have to try this. Just try it and then let me know how it goes if you haven't really tried it. I know a lot of people, like, it's such a common thing to do on YouTube, but a lot of people like don't do it on a regular basis. So okay, so I just put one pump of each, and let's just see how far this gets me. Hopefully I don't have to like build it up anymore. Okay, so this is both of them together, so let's see how it looks. I would really recommend not going in with a matte foundation. I used to love matte foundations, and then I saw that my skin just looked so dull and like, I don't know, just bad when I used it. There's one foundation from LA Girl, I think it is, that it's matte and it just still looks really, really natural and pretty. That one I do recommend for the dry skin, but all the other ones I've been like not even using. Like I have tons of foundations that are matte just because I used to love them so much. And now I never use them at all. Okay, so the next thing that I want to mention is that sometimes you guys see like this cracks and dryness around your nose. Really pull your skin and kind of get in there with the sponge to really make the product like, you know, get in there. This combo, it's everything, like everything. Okay guys, so you guys can see that like you can't even tell that I have dry skin. I'm actually going to zoom you guys in as much as I can, so you can see like how dewy and pretty my skin is just looking. And honestly, when I started this video, it wasn't like it wasn't this nice. It was not looking great. So now I'm going to use some concealer. I really recommend for you guys to use something that is really, really creamy, something that is not going to crease under your eyes, and definitely stay away from really, really dry, either excessively dry concealers or excessively creamy concealers, because I feel like the really, really creamy ones just make it look worse, and the dry obviously make it look really, really dry. So some that I do recommend are the Tarte Shape Tape. Obviously the Jouer one, even though that's like sometimes it creases on me, is a really, really great concealer, like super full coverage. The Too Faced Born This Way, one of my favorites. There's also the CoverGirl, the new one. I think I'm just gonna like do a separate video for concealers for dry skin, because there's so many that I can recommend. But I'm just gonna be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape. This one I have in the shade medium. So I'm just going to apply it right under my eyes, and I'm going to let it sit there for a little bit, just so I have the most, just so I can get like the most coverage from it. So I'm just going to start blending like on other areas, not on, really under my eyes yet. So you want to let it sit there for at least like 30 to 40 seconds is what I do. And then you go ahead and just blend it in. And with your sponge being wet, it really, really makes the difference onto everything not looking dry. You guys can see like how nice it looks. Okay, so the next thing is actually bronzer. So something that I have noticed is that when my skin, like when I use a matte foundation, my skin looks really dull and like flat, just because I'm going with powder and powder and powder. I really, really discovered a little trick in using cream contour. So I love using the LA Girl concealers on like a darker shade as a contour. That works really, really great. There's also another one that I like that I can't really think about it. Oh, the Juvia's Place concealer's great for contouring, but there's also this double take sculpting stick from Oma Beauty, and I really, really like it. I have this one on the shade, I think Honey Honey, I think it is. So it has two sides. One is the highlight, but the highlight is a little too dark for me, and then you have the contour side. So I'm just going to be using this, and I feel like it does make the biggest difference. I honestly would have preferred to do this under the foundation, but I really forgot. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit. We are still going to, you know, set this cream contour with a powder, but this would really like prep your skin. So I really love just using the Real Techniques brush. This one I think is their buffing brush, and I really, really like this one for cream products. You can use, I think Anastasia has a cream contour palette that everybody has that is also really, really great, but I find that one to be a little bit too dry. So make sure that what you're using is not like a dry product, because obviously, I mean, it is going to make your face look dry if it's really drying. I also find that the Anastasia contour stick foundation is also really dry. I bought that one thinking that I use it for this purpose, and that one was like so dry. It made my texture, like the texture on my skin, just look so bad. So yeah, make sure that what you're using is like really, really like creamy. You guys can see like how easy this is blending. And I don't think, like, even if I'm putting it over my foundation, I still don't think that it doesn't look like really, really drastic. It's just a nice, you know, color to your skin. And once you go in with the powder, it's going to make everything look so much nicer. So now that we applied all the cream powders and all the cream products, you want to set your face. You want to set that concealer. You want to set that foundation. But obviously, we can't really set our foundation like baking, because it is going to make it look so much more drier. So I really recommend either going with a pressed powder, or if you do want to bake like I like to, because I feel like it makes my makeup just last all day and like seal everything, you can go in with 3 products. I'm going to mention 3. I probably have more, but I'm going to mention 3. Actually, I'm going to mention 4. So the first one is my favorite overall since forever, and it's the Chanel Translucent Powder. I love that one, but that one is about $50. The next one is the Hailey's Beauty Retouch Powder that I'm going to be using today. The third one is the Hourglass Loose Powder, and the fourth one is the Becca Set and Refresh Powder. Those are all amazing. They're not drying powders, so even if you put them on your face and you bake with them, they're not going to make your skin look super dry. Obviously, I don't overdo it because they will dry your skin out, like if you use a ton of it, but they do really work. But like I said, I'm going to be using the Haley's Beauty right now, and I just noticed that I missed one of the steps, and it was probably the most important one. This is what I do every time I like start doing my makeup, like before I even do my eyes, and that's probably what threw me off. But I use a lip slipping mask. If you have dry skin, you probably have dry lips, and you probably have that problem. So one problem that I've always had, like no matter what I do, I use this in the morning and at night. And even if I use chapstick like all the entire day, it doesn't really matter. My lips are still going to be cracked and chapped at the end of the day. It's really like a problem. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to fix it. But this is the closest thing that I've found to fixing it. And this one is a Laneige lip slipping mask. There's also one from Mamonde that I think is a dupe for this one, and you can find that one at Ulta. But this is just the greatest thing. So I just like to apply this like right before I start my makeup, and by the time I finish, it is completely dry. But today, since I'm putting it like really close to when I'm doing my lips, I don't think it's going to be really dry, but I can just like wipe it away with a towel. So now let's move on to finally setting our face. So like I said, this one is a Haley's Beauty Retouch Perfecting Loose Powder, and this is how it looks like. Now the only thing with this one is that it does have a tint. So if you are on the fair spectrum, I don't think this is really going to like actually work for you. I think they have another loose powder, but I don't know if it's the same as this one. So I just kind of went in with a little bit of powder, like if I was gonna bake my face, and then I just like to really press this in, and you guys are gonna see like as I'm pressing it in, it kind of disappears onto my skin. I'm gonna put a little bit on my forehead and my nose, just really setting that concealer. But you guys can compare this side to this one. I mean, it looks matte just because I set it, but it doesn't look dry at all. So I'm going to go ahead and set the right side. And I really love how it just like melts into the skin. You're set, you're good to go, you don't look dry, and you still baked. So I'm just going to do bronzer, blush, and highlight. I don't really have any tips for those because if you are going to apply the liquid highlighter, you would already have like something glowy over underneath. You already applied your, cream bronzer. And your blush, you can really use like cream blushes, but I do feel like those emphasize the texture. So I'm not really like the biggest fan of those yet. I don't know. I'm like testing the waters with those. So I'm just going to apply the bronzer, the blush, and the highlight, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this off. And this stuff works really great because when you finally wipe it up, it like takes the dead skin from your lips. I'm using a microfiber towel, by the way, and it's just great to have like when you're doing your makeup. It's like so good. So I did put on a lip liner, and I did put on a liquid matte lipstick, which matte lipsticks are just my favorite. But honestly, guys, when my lips are really chapped, like when nothing does the work, it's just really hard to maintain matte lipstick. And I feel like even if my lips look fine now, throughout the day they're gonna get really dry, and it's just not gonna look good. Even if you have like a banging makeup and your lips don't look good, I feel like there's no good for anybody. So what I like to do is going in with a liquid gloss, and I honestly don't love glosses, but these ones from Mood Matcher are really good. They don't feel like a gloss on your lips. So I'm going to go ahead with this one, and I actually think I'm going to do one lighter. Okay, so I'm going to be going with this one. This one is called Sheer Infatuation, and it's one of their lacquer glosses. And I feel like my lips now look a little bit more juicy. There's a little bit more, it just looks better. So our makeup is still done. It's complete. We're looking dewy. We're looking good. There's no dryness anywhere. But what you really have to do to set your whole makeup and to make everything look a little bit more dewy than it is using a setting spray. So what I like to use is MAC Fix Plus. I know Anastasia has a dewy setting mist. Milani has a great one to make it last. Morphe has a really good one as well, but I just prefer this one just because I've been using it for so long. Even though I have the other ones, I keep coming back to this one. There's also this one, the rose water I mentioned, is really good for setting your makeup as well. But what I like to do is just really going in with this, like really spraying this. So anyway, guys, these are just my tips and tricks for dry skin to really make it better and to make everything look really seamless and nice. So these are obviously just my opinions and, you know, everything that works for me particularly. So if you try one of these things and it doesn't work for you, I am really sorry. But I really think that a lot of people could benefit from all these tips, and they will make a difference. I promise you, they will make a difference. So even if you don't have dry skin, I feel like there's so many tips in this video that could make you, like, help your foundation look better when you're doing your makeup. So I think it's going to be helpful for a lot of people. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. As always, please don't forget to subscribe below, like this video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye!